Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you the player ratings after Manchester United lost 1-0 to Atletico Madrid at Old Trafford in the last 16 of the Champions League second leg. So I'll start with David De Gea. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. He made a very good save to deny Rodrigo de Paul. Apart from that, didn't really have much to do. De Gea could have done better with the goal. And his distribution was quite poor. De Gea was reuniting with Atletico Madrid. Before Manchester United, De Gea was at Atletico Madrid. Prior to the first leg, De Gea came out and said that I don't see myself away from Manchester United. De Gea has been a long servant, he's been with us since the Ferguson era. This season has been his 11th season at Man United. Don't forget he got named the Premier League's Player of the Month for January. Well, he's won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances in all competitions for Man United. His contract at Manchester United expires next year. Moving on to Diego Dalot, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a poor game yesterday night. He was responsible for Atletico Madrid's goal. He didn't get forward enough. And he received a yellow card in the game. Diego Dalot, though, has been impressive under Ralph Rangnick. Well, he's our first choice right back under Ralph Rangnick. Do you think Dalot will leave Manchester United in the summer? Because he has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation before. Last season, Dalot had a loan spell with AC Milan. Reflecting on that, he gained some experience and Manchester United got Diego Dalot from Porto. Manchester United paid £19 million for him. His contract at Man United expires next year. Moving on to Raphael Varane, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he brought the ball out well from the back, his composure was good, and he had a very good headed chance towards the end of the game. He produced a good save from Jan Oblak. Most of the time when Varane plays, he seems to make the difference. Manchester United signed Varane from Real Madrid last summer. Man United paid 34 million up front, rises up to around 41 or 42 million with add-ons. He's under contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a good pedigree behind him because look at the amount of trophies he won when he was at Real Madrid. Varane's had a few injuries since he came to Man United. Moving on to Harry Maguire, he's going to get a 3 out of 10. He endured a very poor game yesterday night. Maguire made a bad error that led to the offside goal. And he was all over the place at the back. Maguire, I thought, was poor in the 3-2 win against Tottenham last weekend. Tottenham's second goal was an own goal by Harry Maguire. We need to take the captaincy off Maguire. Earlier on this season, a lot of Manchester United fans were demanding for the captaincy to be taken off him. But earlier on this season, Rangnick said that Maguire will remain Man United captain until the end of the season. Prior to the City game at the Etihad, it said Maguire was upsetting his teammates in the dressing room. You know, Manchester United paid £80 million for Maguire, so he is the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and he's the second most expensive signing at the club, behind Pogba. Maguire's been at Man United over 2 years, and he's had quite a few injuries since he came to the club. Moving on to Alex Telles, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I thought he was poor. You know, Telles lacked that attacking intent, and he weren't too good defensively. Telles is our first choice left back under Rangnick, and to be fair, he's had a lot of good games under Rangnick, but like I said, he was poor yesterday. You know, do you think Telles will leave Man United in the summer? He's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation before. Man United got Telles from Porto. We got him in a deal worth 15.4 million with add-ons included. We got him in 2020, so he's been at the club now, Telles, for a couple of years. The reason we brought him in was to provide competition for Luke Shaw. Moving on to Fred, I'm going to give Fred a 7 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a very good game yesterday. I thought he pressed well, he passed the ball well, he kept the ball well, and his movement was very good. You know, despite his good performance yesterday, I still don't rate Fred. You know, he's not good enough to represent the club, but, you know, Fred has had good games under Ralph Rangnick. You know, Man United got Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk a few years ago. You know, we got him for around £50 million. Moving on to Scott McTominay, he's going to get a 4 out of 10. I thought he was very poor. McTominay is not good enough to represent the club. I said earlier on this season that McTominay was one of our best performers under Rangnick. He's been part of the club for a long time. Revert back to 2020, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Moving on to Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Weren't Bruno Fernandes' best performance, but he did alright. I do recall him having a good chance in the game. That did produce a good save from the Atletico Madrid goalkeeper Jano Black. Fernandes missed a 3-2 win against Tottenham last weekend. Fernandes was out with COVID. You know, Fernandes is one of our best players, and he's certainly one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. You know, Fernandes has been a Manchester United player for around 2 years. Man United got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Earlier on this season, Fernandes rejected a new contract at Man United. He said Bruno Fernandes contract talks are postponed until this summer, having turned down an offer last year. He is under contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. Fernandes only receives £100,000 a week. Moving on to Anthony Elanga. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Elanga yesterday had some good moments in the game. He had some good chances. One of his chances hit Jan Oblak's head. That chance was from close range by Anthony Elanga. Elanga came off the bench and scored a late equaliser against Atletico Madrid in the first leg. Earlier on this season, Rangnick said that Anthony Elanga was close to leaving Manchester United. Earlier on this season, Elanga got racially abused on social media after Elanga missed a decisive penalty against Middlesbrough in the FA Cup. But you know, Elanga, I've got to give him credit, he's done really, really well since he broke into the first team. You know, Elanga has been part of the club for a long time. You know, he risen up our academy in that. He joined Man United's academy at the age of 12 and now he's 19, so he's still very young. Revert back towards the end of last year, Elanga committed his future to the club because he signed a contract with Man United until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Jadon Sancho, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. It was a decent performance by Jadon Sancho, but we've seen better recently. I do recall Jadon Sancho having a chance in the game yesterday night, but he put it over the bar. We are now, though, starting to get the best out of Jadon Sancho, which is good news from Man United perspective. Sancho, I thought, did well against Tottenham last weekend. You know, Sancho got an assist in that game. Sancho, though, did endure a bad start to his Manchester United career. You know, he didn't settle in straight away, but not every player does. Man United signed Jadon Sancho last summer from Borussia Dortmund. We got him in a deal worth 78 million, with add-ons included. Man United paid 73 million up front, and Sancho's under contract to Man United until June 2026 as an option of a further year. Sancho did endure 4 good years with Borussia Dortmund before he signed for Man United. And moving on to Cristiano Ronaldo, going to give him a 7 out of 10. To be honest with you, I thought he played well yesterday night. I do recall him having a good chance in the game. And early on in the game, Ronaldo produced some nice touches and he got in some decent positions and he made some very good runs. Ronaldo obviously was frustrated after the full-time whistle yesterday against Atletico Madrid. Ronaldo got a hat-trick against Tottenham last weekend. That was his first hat-trick since he re-signed for the club, and Ronaldo became the highest scorer in football history. Ronaldo has scored 18 goals in all competitions since he re-signed for Man United. He's got over 800 goals in his career. Man United re-signed Ronaldo last summer, for what, 20 million with the add-ons included. Ronaldo's contract at Man United expires next year. There's an option of a further year. And Ronaldo's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. He is the best player in the world overall. Not so long ago, Ronaldo held crunch talks with his agent Jorge Mendes over his Man United future. And he said that he threatened to quit following his Derby Day absence. Ronaldo missed the 4-1 defeat to Man City due to a knock. Like I say, Ronaldo will leave Man United in the summer, especially if Man United fail to finish in the top 4. Yesterday night we brought substitutions on in the game. We saw Marcus Rashford come on. I'll just give him a 5 out of 10. As you all know, Marcus Rashford has been told he can leave Man United this summer by Ralph Rangnick. Romano said the other week that Marcus Rashford is considering his future with Man United. He's concerned about his lack of playing time. Real Madrid are interested in Rashford. PSG have been in for him. And Atletico Madrid have reignited their interest, and Barcelona have been in for him before, so he has been subjected to transfer speculation. Rashford's contract at Man United expires next year. He's a good player overall, Rashford, but I think he's endured a lot of poor games this season. Rashford's not been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. He missed the first 2 months of the season with that shoulder problem. Earlier on this season, Rashford had a minor leg injury, didn't he? Rashford's been part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy. He's been a United player since the age of 7. And he broke into our senior squad back in 2016. And since then, he's gone on to make nearly 300 appearances in all competitions. Edison Cavani came on in the game. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he did alright when he came on. Cavani didn't start against Tottenham last weekend, but he came on. Cavani's just come back from a groin injury not so long ago. He's had a few injuries since he came to the club. We're expecting Cavani to leave Man United in the summer. Cavani's been linked to a move to La Liga. He's also been linked to a move to Brazil. He's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Man United got him on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Matic. He also came on in the game. I'll give Matic a 7 out of 10. Thought he did well when he came on. Mata, he also came on in the game as well. Give him a 6 out of 10. And we saw, did Paul Pogba come on? I'll give him a 6 out of 10. So that is your player ratings from Manchester United's 1-0 defeat to Atletico Madrid. I thought Man United were dominant in the first half. We dominated possession, and like I mentioned on the match reaction, Man United had chances. Atletico Madrid's goal came from Renan Lodi. It was a header at the far post. The goal came 4 minutes before half time. Joao Felix did score for Atletico Madrid, but it did get ruled out for offside. Joao Felix scored in the first leg. Joao Felix is very good. Atletico Madrid got him from Benfica. So Atletico Madrid are into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. They had some players missing as well yesterday night, did Atletico Madrid. Obviously there was no Yannick Carrasco, he was suspended, he missed both legs. There was no Thomas Lemar because obviously he's out with injury. Atletico Madrid got Thomas Lemar from Monaco. There was no Matheus Cunha, he was out with injury. There was no Daniel Was, he was out of injury. I think Atletico Madrid got Daniel Was back in January. He was the replacement for Kieran Trippier. And he also had someone else injured as well. So there you go. Antoine Griezmann, he got the assist for Renan Lodi's goal. You know, Antoine Griezmann is out on loan at Atletico Madrid from Barcelona. Well, before Barcelona, Griezmann was at Atletico Madrid for around 5 years. So far, Griezmann has spent his entire playing career in Spain. Let me put into the equation that Atletico Madrid have lost players. Like I said, back in January, they lost Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier went to Newcastle from Atletico Madrid. Last year, they loaned Saul Niguez out. Saul Niguez has been very poor at Chelsea. Atletico Madrid also lost Rodri. He went to City from Atletico Madrid, and they lost Thomas Partey, was it a few years ago? Thomas Partey is at Arsenal. Atletico Madrid are third, is it, in La Liga. They've got a very good manager in Diego Simeone. Diego Simeone has been a long-serving manager at Atletico Madrid. He's been the Atletico Madrid manager for around 11 years. Atletico Madrid appointed him in back in 2011. He's under contract with Atletico Madrid until 2024. You know, Man United have been linked with him before. By the way, it said Man United fans were threw bottles at Diego Simeone yesterday night. So yeah, Manchester United out of the Champions League. So now our focus is to finish in the top 4. Well, Rangnick's aim is for Man United to finish in the top 4 this season. Another trophyless season for Man United, you know, not good enough. You know, Man United have not won a trophy for 5 years. You know, Rangnick, you know, he's now lost 4 games in all competitions as Manchester United's interim manager. You know, Rangnick's been Manchester United's interim manager for almost 4 months now. He's Man United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then he's expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. Well, earlier on this season it did mention that Rangnick wants the permanent Man United job. So yeah. So anyway guys, that's everything to update with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.